Angel Reese once boldly stated that people watch women's basketball because of her. That was a bold statement until you saw what actually happened when she returned to LSU with the Chicago Sky. If you didn't believe me before, this weekend further demonstrated that point because the Bayou Barbie was officially rejected in the Bayou Angel Reese's courtroom. But that 13,000-seat arena is only half full, and only 300 people bothered to show up, and that's being generous. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark had fans paying thousands of dollars for tickets, and her preseason game sold out faster than you can say delusional hype. The contrast, however, is brutal. We have the pictures, and Reese probably wishes she could remove them from the internet. And there are aisles of empty chairs, $15 0-cent tickets collecting dust, free tickets being given away, and a lot of awkward silence. Reese probably wishes she could remove those eyes from the game, but apparently they were too busy looking elsewhere. If you ride with, let's examine why this small LSU homecoming may have hurt more than one of Reese's signature missed layups. No, this wasn't just an ordinary game. It was supposed to be her moment, her glorious return to the campus that made her a star, the same campus where she made her famous. Caitlin's comment, CC, is the needle down below. Let's go. How embarrassing. You won't hear this from the mainstream media, which still pretends that the Bayou Barbie is adored. Reese danced on national TV with the championship trophy in the same spot where fans once yelled her name like she was Beyonce from LSU. This was her moment to shine and return as the hometown hero, the Chicago Sky, going into LSU, the home court of Angel Reese, man. Instead, it was a ghost town with a scoreboard, and social media photos from that night are going viral, and let's just say they're not helping Reese in any way. We're talking about vast voids filled with empty plastic seats and entire rows of empty seats. Look at, number one, look at all the purple seats down here in this lower bowl section, and then look at the entire top bowl. Forget about it. Forget about it. And here's the most hilarious part. Tickets were essentially free, heavily discounted, and some were even free. The upper bowl never even opened, which is why they couldn't fill the bottom one for someone who says she's revolutionizing the sport. The vibes were more forgotten open mic night than WNBA superstar returns to thunderous applause. The woman who says she is the reason people care about women's basketball couldn't even draw half a crowd at her own alma mater. Let that sink in. Both of them had their homecoming celebrations this weekend, and one of them sold out in 27 minutes. The other one couldn't give away free tickets. Even if they had been given away, the majority of seats would have cost $15 0-cents, which is less than the cost of parking at most. We're talking less than a movie and popcorn, and the fans wouldn't have been offended. So let's get a little math nerdy for a moment. In order to reach 50% capacity in that arena, they needed at least 6,670 fans. Angel didn't even realize that she missed the halfway point by roughly 300 people. When someone talks as much as she does about changing the game, failing to get a D-list concert audience isn't the flex she thinks it is. In case you were wondering, I did the math and found that there were more than 800 seats left last night in a 13-0 capacity arena, way that there were actually only $15 0-cents tickets available, and even the broadcast knew something was wrong because every frame was zoomed in closer than Reese's TikTok videos. Sadly, Angels fans and social media were not afraid to share the unfiltered reality photos of an arena reverberating with uncomfortable, quiet seats as empty as her claims of fame. Look at all those empty seats, people. That is insane. I mean, empty, empty, empty. Here's where it gets funny. Angel has been talking nonstop for months about how she's the reason women's basketball is taking off, but statistics don't lie. Empty arenas and silence don't lie. And she can post all the Instagram reels she wants, like 6,300 fans, in a building that can accommodate 13,000 people. This was supposed to be a full circle moment, a hero's welcome, but instead it was a PR disaster wrapped in a participation trophy. The place where she built her brand didn't even show up, and her ride or die fan base must have had better things to do. If Angel Reese can't draw a crowd at LSU, then where exactly can she now? Let's talk about the player who is actually bringing fans to Baton Rouge to open the WNBA preseason against the game. Caitlin Clark was busy selling out entire arenas while Reese was playing to crickets and camera pans. Her preseason game in Iowa was not only packed, but it was electric, with every seat full and every fan on their feet. The demand was insane and the energy was unmatched. Clark doesn't just draw crowds, she creates moments. Good luck finding reasonably priced tickets for the Indiana Fever's preseason game against Brazil at Carver Hawkeye Arena. Season ticket holders and a select few top. When tickets for Caitlin Clark's preseason game at Carver Hawkeye Arena went on sale, they didn't sell out over a few days or crawl their way to sold-out status in a few hours. Instead, every single seat was snatched up in 27 minutes flat, less than half an hour, which is faster than ordering pizza and regretting your topping choices. People were refreshing their screens as if they were Beyonce tickets, and we're talking about a preseason game. That's the kind of demand that happens. The difference between these two couldn't be more stark. Angel's big comeback felt like a retirement ceremony and no one showed up. For Clark's preseason outing, it felt like a national holiday, with one rookie struggling to fill a room in her own backyard and everyone else being treated like a rock star everywhere she goes. People are rearranging vacations and purchasing flights to see Caitlin play. So it's not hype, it's true stardom. Yes, the reason we watch women's basketball isn't just because of one person, it's because of me as well. And you guys need to understand that while Clark has single-handedly made preseason WNBA games into must-watch TV, Angel can't even get LSU to care for one night. Sure, you could have blamed it on timing, marketing, or something, but let's face it, if she really had that kind of pull, fans would have shown up. The crowd was praising their Bayou Barbie, and the crowd could have been heard all the way in the third row. The problem is that I wouldn't exactly call it a crowd. Calling it a small gathering might be more appropriate. It's a family reunion. And it's not just this one game, it's a trend everywhere Clark goes. Tickets are going up, jerseys are flying off the shelves, and social engagement is exploding. She's not only changing how we watch women's basketball, but she's also changing who watches it. Angel Reese can talk all she wants, but Caitlin Clark is delivering while she's talking. Now, let's really put this into perspective. Fans are spending hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on resale sites to see Caitlin Clark in action, not in playoff games or even games that count. These are glorified scrimmages. Basketball equivalent of a sound check, but people are still shelling out cash like it's their civic duty to see her live. Who does that for preseason? Oh, right, superstars, game changers, and future icons, Caitlin Clark. Then today is essentially a response to all of that, demonstrating that they understand that they are the Showtime team and the largest team in the WNBA right now. This type of stuff benefits not just the Indiana Fever, but the entire WNBA. On the other end of the hype spectrum, Angel Reese's preseason homecoming was almost like a Groupon event. Tickets were $15.00, and even that seemed a little too expensive for most people. You could have brought a date and bought some snacks for less than the price of a single Fever resale ticket. And still fans said, hey, maybe next time. Imagine providing the basketball equivalent of dollar store deals and still seeing the crowd skip town. Things get even more crazy when you realize that opposing teams are upgrading their arenas specifically to host Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. Yes, they're moving games to larger venues because they're regular. Everyone can't keep up with the Clark effect, which isn't normal, not hype, and is a traveling economic boom wrapped in sneakers. Every time Clark visits a new city, local vendors smile and team accounts give each other high fives. What's even more hilarious, in my opinion, is that they went one step further. And if you visit the Indiana Fever's team store, you'll notice that they have a brand new t-shirt that reads, "Every game, now you know." It reads on the back of a sold-out banner that features their entire schedule, similar to a tour t-shirt, and it reads, "Every game is a home game," with this huge divide between who is attracting fans and who is attracting yawns. The question of who is actually packing the seats practically writes itself. The statistics and ticket demand have spoken. The arenas are empty and overflowing, and all fingers are pointing in one direction. Caitlin Clark is selling out venues more quickly than Swifties sell out world tours, while Angel Reese is having trouble filling. Before anyone tries to attribute this to college loyalty, let's put an end to it quickly. Caitlin Clark is packing arenas she has never been to, and these aren't just Iowa fans traveling. They are basketball fans of all stripes swarming from all over the world to watch her play. Meanwhile, Angel couldn't even fill the gym where she literally built her brand. If the same fans who supported her during a championship year can't muster enough interest to attend, then what are we really talking about here as a family? Angel Reese and her friends welcome the Bayou Barbie back to the Bayou. Look closely at the so-called crowd roll clip. This was her homecoming, and it was supposed to be a night of celebration. In November 2023, when Angel Reese was supposedly at the height of her drawing power, thousands of empty seats appeared at what appeared to be an LSU home game. Recall that when Angel Reese made her big announcement on social media, she didn't just hint at her importance. She stated the reason we watch women's basketball isn't just because of one, it's because of me too. That's not a misquote, that's not media spin, that's a public, confident declaration that she's one of the main drivers of women's basketball viewership. Bold, powerful, but where's the proof? Sorry, young lady, nobody will be watching the WNBA, and for you, it's all about Caitlin Clark. She's bringing the money to the game, the planes to the game, the TV viewership, and the WNBA is on fire because of Caitlin Clark. Now that we have the receipts, the actual receipts, the attendance numbers don't need to be interpreted. They are what, according to the mother of Angel Reese, who also calls herself Angel Reese, they are not celebrating her drawing power because it doesn't exist. Instead, they are celebrating championships. Mama Reese took to social media to clap back at the haters, who in this case were Caitlin Clark fans, who were pointing out the drawing power. And the numbers from her LSU homecoming are painting a picture that looks more like a wake than a welcome. If Reed truly has that kind of impact, where were the fans? Empty arena, according to Mama Reese, Caitlin and Angel are not the same. We're celebrating championships over here. And here's the really weird part. Angel Reese has millions, I mean millions of social media followers. You would think that with all of them watching her every post, they would show up when she takes the court. But nope, it's like her entire following vanishes the moment a basketball is involved. Apparently, people are much more interested in her attire than her offense. It seems like Angel Reese is better at creating content than crowds. Is she a famous athlete or a viral personality who occasionally tries layups? If Angel is attracting so many new fans to the game, they must have gotten lost on the way to the arena, or perhaps they just stayed home to browse her Instagram stories. This whole situation makes you wonder if we are watching a baller or a brand. One of them packed 15,000 paid fans into the arena while the other couldn't feel the lower bowl. And the other applies filters to selfies, but take a look at their career trajectory. Since then, Caitlin Clark has been the only attraction in women's basketball history. Angel Reese couldn't sell out home games at LSU or the WNBA in Chicago, and she couldn't fill half the arena for her homecoming celebration. In fact, I imagine that Caitlin Clark grows weary of the attention, as evidenced by her famous quote about drawing attention to the game. The number of empty seats at LSU is unbelievably louder than any tweet. Let's call it what it is. Angel Reese looks more like a social media influencer who happens to wear a jersey than a legitimate basketball player. She has sponsorships and the fashion garners attention, but where is the in-person support? The fans are willing to come, spend money, and chant her name from the rafters. Spoiler, but they weren't in Baton Rouge. She does everything she can to keep her name in the headlines, but for some reason, it doesn't translate to ticket sales. If you can't even fill half an arena in your own college town, the one place where you should be a legend, then it's time to admit the disconnect between the talk and the turnout. At the end of the day, the fans told the truth by not showing up, and that's the harsh reality, while Caitlin Clark has people. Angel Reese was the biggest star in unrivaled hell, but no one was watching. The truth is out, and no filters can fix it. The narrative about her being the next big thing in women's hoops is beginning to crack loudly. The battle for who is truly growing the game isn't even close. And if you're looking for the answer, count the chairs. If you ride with Caitlin, the needle down below is the comment CC. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss anything. Angel Reese actually had $15 0-cent tickets collecting dust. She'll see you in the upcoming